dreamers, and welcome back to PERLA'S DREAMS. Cancer, this is your reading. And again, guys, these are general readings. I'm going to fix the camera a little. Um, these are general readings, so only take whatever resonates, and please, please leave the rest. Cancer, there is this space of time. Are you having, some of you are having a hard time with time management, or some of you are just tired of waiting, is what I'm hearing. You're waiting for an outcome, or you're waiting for something, you're waiting for someone to change, or waiting for some of you are waiting for the right time. That one I like. That space. Those of you that are within that frequency of like waiting for the right time, I love that. Because for those of you that are waiting for the right time for something, it's like you you, you intuitively know like that in order to manifest something or to go forward with something, you have to wait for things to be in alignment in a certain way energetically. I don't know. That's the way that it's coming up, but I really like that space. Because for those of you that are waiting for the right time to launch something or to pursue something or to go after something or to present something to like a group or to whatever, this is going to that energy is going to be very fruitful. There's a lot that is coming out of that. There's a for those of you that you have your own business, and you're waiting to present or to release like a new service or new product or something like that, and you're listening, it's like you're so deeply connected to like spirit. You're listening to, all right, when is the right time, when is the right time, it's like boom, here it's like, okay, so everything is getting planned out to be released on a certain day, right? And it's like you you have an estimate, let's put it this, projection of what you think or how you think this new product or service is going to do, but it's going to blow your mind because it's going to do a lot better than what you are assuming. Because I see here a lot of growth, but it's all comes with timing. And what I mean by timing is like knowing exactly when to release something or knowing exactly when to do something. So for those of you that are within that space of like timing and time, for those of you that are frustrated with something, or feeling like something is taking too long to achieve, you're being told, you're being reminded that there are still things within that space that you have not mastered or you have not learned. There are things that you are willingly choosing not to learn or willingly choosing to ignore within a certain space, and this is why there seems to be so much delays. There's a lot of animals that have been coming through, like through all these readings. For you guys, is I want to say, yeah, it's a cobra. Because I'm looking at it, I'm like, it looks like a cobra. It moves like a cobra. The cobra, a cobra snake. And their spiritual meaning, it represents protection, divine power, and even transformation. It is associated with the god Shiva in Hindu. I don't know, somebody needed to know that. So in other cultures, it has to do with divine authority, royalty, and sacred knowledge. So again, there is this, but it doesn't surprise me that the cobra is coming through at this moment, because it is showing this like divine timing, that perfect time of like when to like take that step, when to sit, when to speak, when to talk, and it's all interconnected with your own like spiritual path and with your own connection directly to spirit. And you're being told to like always be in a space of like receiving. So if you're agitated at this moment in regards to like something not taking traction or something taking a very long time, it is because you are in some way, there's something that you are either not seeing clearly or you're not hearing clearly or you're not following. So it's like this space of like being obedient, and I know that that's going to trigger a lot of people, but there there is a sense of like there are things that I have to be obedient to, right? So like if I say I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I need to be obedient to those words that I'm speaking out into my life. Because if I am obedient to the words that I'm speaking, right, over my life, then I am the one in control of how things I'm the one in control of how things are going to manifest or how things are going to progress in my life. If I say that I'm going to do something and I'm not obedient to that word that I spoke over my life, that I am sending myself, right? Mixed signals. I am sending the universe mixed signals when it comes to my word. So then at some point, my word cannot be trusted, right? And it's almost kind of like that space that you guys are in. So what is it that you told yourself or you spoke over your life that you were going to do that then you decided like, not gonna do it, not gonna do it. And allow yourself to go into that space, because the thing is like whatever it is that you are being nonchalant about in your life, it is exactly the one thing that needs to be addressed in order to start moving things along, so that you don't feel like something is taking an intense amount of time to manifest. So there's definitely this space of like self reflection during this time, right? The space of like, all right, how are we going to hold on, how are we going to get past this hurdle? How are we going to get into that? And some of you are really as I'm seeing this and I'm saying this, it's like I keep on seeing like somebody's really obsessed with wanting to like jump timelines or wanting to go from one timeline to the other. Like you are tired of the timeline that you're in. You're tired of the space, the energy, the season that you're in, and you're wanting to move forward into like a different season. You're wanting to move forward into a different timeline. And that is all well and beautiful, but remember, when you're feeling stuck in that sense of like you're feeling like something is not moving forward, something is not progressing, then what is it that needs to be addressed? Like, do do you have to change strategies in certain things? Or sometimes this can be as simple as like changing your perception within a situation, right? And sometimes there are like actual steps and actions that we need to take in order to move things along the way that we want them to. So again, this very heavy energy of time that is surrounding you guys is so that you can have the discernment of when it is that you are to be still and when it is that you are to be in motion. A lot of you have gotten comfortable with just waiting and seeing what happens and not really contributing to something. And then others of you are like on the other hand where you are overdoing and it's like you're doing and doing and doing, but what you're doing is not bringing any value to what it is that you want to create, to what it is that you want to manifest. So be very be very intentional with your time, what it is that you're doing with your time, how you're investing your time, and who it is that you are investing your time in, right? There are times, and again, this is just an example, there are times where all I do for like 2 or 3 days is literally like sleep, because I do spend, for those of you that have been following me for a while, I was diagnosed with narcolepsy a few years ago, like 9 years ago, 9, 10 years ago, 9 years ago. Um, and which kind of put a lot of things into perspective with me, because I spent like, if I'm not mistaken, on my testing or results or whatever, it's like I spend like 98% of the time that I'm sleeping, dreaming. So I spend the majority of the time that I am asleep dreaming, and sometimes I'm dreaming before I fall asleep and all of this stuff. So when I connect that and I allow myself to get clarity when it comes to my own gifts and what I do, there is this sense of like sometimes that is what spirit is asking me. It's like going into these realms, into this dream realm, right? Where I am constantly dreaming and there's things that are coming through. There are messages, there's this, there's that. And for that time period, right, whether it's those 2 or 3 days, I am literally like sleeping, dreaming, right, waking up, drinking water, peeing, going back to sleep, and it's like it's a continuous cycle, right? And once I'm done with that cycle, once spirit has brought through whatever it was, whatever I had to work through, whatever I had to do within that space, right, then it changes, right? My internal clock changes, and it's like, okay, now this is what we're gonna work on. Now this is what we're gonna do. But when I try to resist it, right, it's like, no, I want to do this today. I don't want to spend the day sleeping and dreaming. And for me, it's like, well, okay, let's see how that's going to work for you, right? So there is this sense of like really needing to connect with your own spirit and really listening to your internal clock and how it works and how it wants to be presented to the world. Like, how is it that your spirit itself wants to be presented to this world? Because a lot of you are still in a space where you're trying to present, let's put it this way, your spirit or your gifts or whatever it is in a logical way for like other people to see or for other people to relate to or something like that. And it's like that is not always the case. There are some things that they just are, and for those that are meant to connect with it, and for those that is meant to resonate with or whatever it is going to. So it's like whatever it is that you're trying to force within a time frame or within a whatever, spirit is telling you to release that because it's not serving you, it's not doing you any good. um Go back to the cobra energy, that energy of like, authority, of power, but remembering that it is in regards to divine authority, divine power, divine timing, not just yours. If whatever it is that is feeling restricted for you at this moment in time, ask yourself, why is it feeling like that? Why does it feel like something is not moving forward? um I know that it's not what you guys want to hear. You guys are just kind of like, some of you are getting really maybe getting triggered or upset over the fact that it's like, oh no, I just kind of go with the flow. Yeah, there are certain things that you go with the flow, but there are certain things that you want to control the, like, every single second of the outcome out of it. And when you get into the space where you want to control every single aspect of something, that is when you start to meet a lot of more resistance, and then things become stagnant, because even as spirit is giving you a clear guide or a clear guidance for something, you're not listening because you're not in a position to allow yourself to listen. We always have to remember that we should always be in a place of being a student, always willing to learn, willing to listen. So we have the Three of Wands and the Sun in the reverse. And again, guys, these are read intuitively. It's more of like a storyline that pops up. We have the Emperor in the reverse, and then the Four of Wands in the reverse. And then we have the Nine of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles in the upright position. So these were your first two cards. These were your second two cards. And then these are your last two. So they come in, I put them, the way that they're coming out today is in sets of two. So there is this thing here, like, again, the more that you try to push something, the more that you try to force something, the further away the something seems to be, the harder that a goal or dream seems to be to achieve, right? And it's like spirit is trying to show you within that space, right, of resistance, of allow, like, you need to learn to allow guidance in when it comes to this. Maybe the comment, like, I don't know, because this is weird, because the way that this is coming up is like there may be comments or there may be advice coming from either someone that you don't particularly like or admire that much, but that person is saying something that is true. Like spirit sometimes speaks to us through somebody that is unconventional. um this was a couple of weeks ago. Somebody said something to me and it was completely out of character, and it wasn't something bad, it was something actually good, but it was words that if I would have just focused on who said it, I would have dismissed it. But when this person is speaking, I know physically the body that is coming out of, but I know for a fact that spirit was speaking through this person because of what was said, how it was articulated, everything. And I just sat there and I looked at them and I was like, thank you for that message. Because I like, and I didn't say that to them at the moment, but I really needed to hear that. And it wasn't something that I was obsessing about at that moment in time or anything like that. It was something that was in the back of my head, something that I knew that I needed to address, but I wasn't sure how I was going to address it. And to hear the words, like the guidance specifically of how to address it and how to follow through with it, from someone that had no idea what was going on, had no idea what I was thinking about, had nothing to do with the situation or anything like that. And I was like, this is how spirit works. Sometimes we do a disservice to ourselves because we hear the message, right? The message that we're waiting for comes, but because it doesn't come in the package or through the person that we want it to come through, we don't listen. We dismiss it, right? So yeah, I am somebody that when I need guidance, when I need clarity, I can sit down, meditate, and 90% of the time I'm going to be given a vision, a very strict like very specific instructions, like boom, 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 boom. And then there's that 10% where spirit comes through someone else, through someone unexpected, through someone that I wouldn't even freaking follow like life advice from, right? Or survival advice from. But that is the way that it works, because you still have to, again, be in that position to really listen, to really be that connected, that one spirit is showing through in someone or in a way that you never wanted them to, or in a way that you never thought that spirit was going to communicate with you. You have to be open and receptive to listen and to receive the message that is coming to you. And that is what I feel that is missing with a lot of you within the space. Like a lot of you, the message is coming, the message is clear, is screaming in your face, but because of the delivery person, guy, girl, whatever, or delivery method, you are choosing to ignore. You are choosing not to listen to the message. And you you see how he's sitting there kind of like contemplating, right? He's just sitting there like thinking, when is this gonna change? And then you see how she's also thinking, but look at her, she's like smiling and stuff. She's allowing herself, and this is the way that I'm looking at it, she's allowing herself to go in divine timing, and he's trying to kind of like force something. And it's like, which end or which side do you want to be in? Like, he has a little smirk, but his smirk is, the way that I'm picking it up is the more like the, I'm gonna make this happen my way or the way that I want it. And it's like, sweetie, everything is in divine timing, whether you want to believe it or not. It's all in divine timing. So whatever it is that you're waiting for, whatever it is, like, reevaluate how it is that you are addressing it, or how it is that you're perceiving something. All right, so let's go ahead, and we have the universe, number 31. We are all just stardust. When we're children, we can barely comprehend the vastness of our own lives, let alone the extent of the existence of other planets, excuse me. It is not long before we learn we are in the center of the universe. We are but a speck of stardust in one of its many skies. However, we must all still do our part to take care of our own individual worlds, or else it throws everything else off balance. Make sure to keep balance in your life But don't forget the big picture stuff. Recycle, don't litter, and give things. So again, there is a sense of like, how do you learn, or how do you allow yourself to really listen to your own spirit, to really listen to the guidance of how it is that you can get yourself out of this stuck energy, or this cycle that you're so wanting to get out of, right? How is it that you get to the next season? How is it that you get to the next chapter of your life? And again, there is a strong sense of like the answers, the messages are coming to you, but you're not listening, or you're not paying attention, or you're dismissing it because of the way that the message is coming through. The very prime example, right? There are some times where I'll be sitting down and I'll be thinking of something. I'm like, oh, I wonder how that's going to be solved, or I wonder what I'm supposed to do in this space. And it could be out of nowhere, I hear like a Bible verse, right? And I'm not a religious person. And I hear this Bible verse, and it's like, I just hear it. And then from there, it's like Spirit just starts to show me like the breakdown of that verse, and how can I apply it, and this and this and that. So again, to somebody that has had a really bad experience like in church and things like that, having a Bible verse is the last thing that you want to hear, right? When it comes to a message, when it comes to clarity. But that is the way that this works. This is the way that when you're spiritually connected to the divine, and you're connected to that God, to that one space, to that energy that is above all, this is the way that it works. It allows things that once triggered you or hurt you to become an avenue, to become a space that now allows you to be free, that now allows you to receive the messages that you need to hear. So don't dismiss something because you have chosen not to believe. And again, I do not practice any religion. I'm not Christian, I'm not Catholic, I'm not anything. Um, but I do read, right? I read the Bible, I have a Quran, like I read. So sometimes, again, the message that I need to resolve something, or the message is for whatever the reason, that day, that season of my life, the way that I can process is, the way that I can implement it could be from the Bible, can be from the Quran, can be from whatever it is. So I don't, what I'm trying to say is that I don't limit myself to how the messages come through, and I don't dismiss a message because of who the messenger is, or how the message is coming through, or the delivery of the message is what I should say. So that is pretty much what I have for you guys at this moment in time. As always, thank you for all your love and support. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing to the channel. And if you haven't done so, go ahead and do so. We would love to have you guys. Sending every single one of you love, strength, and blessing, guys. Take care. Love you all. Wow. Bye-bye.